Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, welcome everyone um, to the Pan-African Quantum Challenge 2025. And if you are excited to be here, let's just let the emojis flow. You could use a clap, a laugh, a thumbs up, whatever that you think is suitable for this. Awesome, I can see some love over there. Then some thumbs up over there. Thank you very much. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so yes, I'll just be going over I'll just be doing a quick overview of this particular challenge and the AQC, and after that we'll go through our lineup for today. So you're all briefed on the challenges and all other details. So, yep, what is the AQC? Probably some of you have signed up for the challenge without having to know anything about the AQC. So this will be an opportunity, and of course, a lot more resources will be shared, so you can better know who the AQC is and what it's doing. So the AQC stands for the African Quantum Consortium, and it was launched this year in August, and it's gathered momentum in quantum education and mobilizing workforce for quantum on the continent. And basically, it seeks to be the coordinating engine for quantum on the continent. And there is a released white paper which has this mandate spelled out, the execution and all of that. And this hackathon is part of that execution. It's just a step in that direction to actually get things to work in accordance to the released white paper that I believe the community is really engaging with. So that is in a nutshell the AQC, and we are on we are built on three fundamental principles to unify, to clarify, to influence, and to fund. Um, in this particular case, what we seek to do through this hackathon is to influence. Through this hackathon, solutions will be made with quantum to problems that exist, and that will influence solutions and to impact lives on the continent and on the globe. So with that said, I believe you know now about who the AQC is. We will be sharing some resources like the white paper, our website, so you can go over there and learn more about the community, how to join, and how to contribute. So it's not specifically for the continent. We are also equally open to friends in the diaspora, and we are greatly represented. For Yara is a great friend of the community. Professor Mark is equally a great friend of the community. And so we are not just confined to the continent. We are also open to the globe as well. And now, why this particular challenge? As already inferred early on, it's a step in the direction of actually implementing some of the things that are in the white paper, and that is a step in that direction. That yes, let's have a challenge with problem tracks are that feature problems on the continent, and to get the global participation on it to get solutions for some of those problems. And so that is what the challenge seeks to do. And yes, right. So that is in a nutshell what the challenge seeks to do. And with that said, we believe that this quick 5 minutes briefing session has given you an introduction to what the AQC is and what the hackathon is about. We have speakers over here. I can see Yanes, I can see Temitope. Let me look around again. But before we move ahead, let me call on Temitope to come in with the challenge for the quantum error correction. So we are moving directly into those sessions without having to waste so much time. And we believe questions will arise. So we'll have to make good use of that time. So tell me, if you're there, please unmute and go ahead with your submission. Thank you. You're muted if you are speaking. Tell me.
Yeah, hi everyone. So yes, I want to walk us through um the challenge we have here. So it's on data-driven quantum error mitigation, and I want to walk you through so that you clearly understand what you're building, why it matters, and how to approach it step by step. So the big idea is like simple. Quantum devices presently that we have are very noisy. Noise corrupts the measurements that the algorithm rely on. Like some people say that even as small as the radiation that a banana peel emits can disrupt, the state of a quantum system. So error mitigation is what we presently use to try to recover and correct errors after measurements have been made on quantum computers. So most of those algorithms we have now rely on quantum error mitigation method. We have quantum error correction, which is you correct the error before the measurement, but error mitigation, you try to, mitigate the error, try to correct the error before after your measurement. So what we want to do is that we have, an ideal value of a quantum observable, which you use a noisy measurement, which will be available to you. Unlike error correction, you don't need extra qubits, complex hardware. Everything you do happens at the level of data. So the goal of this challenge is like to design the next generation machine learning based error mitigation, method. So what we want to achieve is that we want it to perform better than simple linear mitigation techniques. IBM has a simple linear mitigation technique called CDR, which use like simple linear regression to remove error from the measurement. So in other words, what we want to do is that we want to push us beyond what we currently use in the field and show us how our model, using different machine learning model or deep learning model can learn the structure of noise such that it can help us correct it efficiently. So what you will first do in this challenge is that you have to generate a data set. You have to simulate different quantum system with, the measurements, the kind of circuits in it, different features. You can choose your design. The design is not specific to a particular, feature. You can choose your design, the number of depths you want your quantum circuit to have, the gate structure, the entanglement patterns. For example, you can include simple circuits like, variational hazards, Q, AOA layers, or even random circuits. So for each circuit, you will simulate the ideal results. You also simulate the noisy results. You use the noiseless simulator, which is available on Qiskit to, or other platform to simulate a noiseless simulator. Then you will run the same circuit with noise. So even though you don't have access to hardware, you can use noise models that are available to just, simulate the noise. You can use noise model like depolarizing noise, amplitude damping noise, readout error. But the most important thing is that for every circuit you simulate, you have your noisy circuit and you have your ideal circuit. So I believe we'll still have time after the boot camp to go through the challenges once again. So this is just giving you an overview of what we are doing. So the goal is you build a machine learning model, which will be a full quantum error mitigation pipeline. So you have your data that you simulated on a quantum computer, you have your model, and you have a way to benchmark it. And the aim is to, map have a function that maps a noisy circuit back to an ideal circuit. That is the goal. So we want to generate a lot of data sets, then we will build a noise-aware or adaptive quantum error mitigation system. So, and our training objective is very straightforward. The corrected value produced by your model should be as close as possible to, your ideal value. So you can use mean squared error, mean absolute error, and other metrics that make sense to, choose your data representation. And you are working with maybe probability distributions. You may choose metrics that enforce maybe normalization or include regularizer that keep your output meaningful. So it's based on this paper, adaptive neural network for quantum error mitigation, and also quantum error mitigation with artificial neural networks, which will be available for you. I'll also post it in the link in the chat after this. So it's based on this paper, and the goal is that you will be able to improve on the accuracy gotten from both papers and the way your model could, mitigate errors from quantum circuits. And you have like, you can use any quantum SDK, you can use Qiskit, you can use Penile, you can use SAG, you can use any machine learning toolkit to develop your, model. You can use different machine learning model that you believe might be appropriate. So for the model, so we are not restricting you to, a particular model or a particular method. The goal is that we would assess the performance using, the absolute error. How close is your noisy circuit, after mitigation to the ideal value? That is what we are evaluating. So we will also evaluate the improvement ratio, the fidelity, and also scaling behavior as, the circuit depth increase. So that's like the overview of the challenge. More details after the bootcamp, more details will be given. Maybe we'll have one more session to go through the challenge again. So is there any question from anybody? I would like to, take more questions. So the final submission would include maybe, a GitHub repository that will contain all your data generation, the script, maybe your model code, and also a short technical report summarizing what exactly you do, the approach you gave into solving your problem, and the evidence that will support your performance claim.
Right. And Temi, I see a question in the chat. Probably it's been answered already. Can we use noise of Kyber for encryption? I don't know
You
if I've
said?
pronounced it correctly. There's a question in the chat. It says, can we use noise of Kyber for encryption?
I'm not sure what you mean by noise of Kyber for encryption. We are not really doing an encryption. The kind of noise we're looking for is maybe a depolarizing noise that, or bit flip noise. You have a state 0. When a noise occur, like a bit flip noise occur, it changes the state to 1. So we are trying to model those kind of noise. So noises, maybe amplitude damping noise, such that the wave of, or the signal of the quantum circuit damps the signal. So I don't know, depending on what ever kind of noise you have. So, but if you use some of these SDK available, they have those noise models. You just apply it directly to whatever simulation you're doing.
Awesome. Awesome. I believe that answers your question. Noor UI Faisal. Right. Keep the questions coming.
So all through the challenge, the goal is that you think about the physics of the whole problem as much as the machine learning of the problem. So you have to think about why your model improve over certain kind of noise. Where does it struggle? Does it fit, the overall maybe shallow circuit but fail on deeper circuits? Does it generalize across different noise channels? those insights are actually very crucial when you are developing a quantum error mitigation model that works. So it's about demonstrating and understanding why it works and what the limits of your model are. So the goal is that your model will be, available for quantum developers such that they can integrate it into their workflow when, mitigating or developing quantum algorithms.
I think there are some questions in the chat box.
Okay, so it says since we are generating the data set ourselves, how will it be evaluated compared to the submission of the others? Yes. So we will be looking at the data set. There are some normal features we know that will be when you are doing, simulating a circuit. There are some normal features like the number of qubits in the circuit, the circuit depth, the number of layers. There are maybe the kind of noise in the circuit. Those are common features. So we don't want to restrict you to those common features alone. So we want you to experiment as much as you can. You can, add more features to the data set. So the challenge, when you go through the challenge document, you see those common features were already mentioned. So every participant will have those features in their data set. So you can now add extra if you feel that, okay, maybe a particular feature engineering method works better such that you're able to derive another feature from those, features will work better. You can add that to your data set. So it's for you to be as creative as possible, and add whatever you want. Does that answer your question? So, and also the metrics we'll be using, it would overall, you know, help us to evaluate the submission because we want to see how well, like that caps it all. Even if you have so much data sets, like no so much features in your data set, and another person has lesser features, what we are looking at the end is that how well is the noise mitigated? How is the value close to the ID value? The measurement, how is it close to the ideal value? So even if your data set is different, that is the end goal. Is it as close as possible to the ideal? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Some of the papers I recommended used, okay, the adaptive neural network for quantum error mitigation actually used not just one model. It used two neural network concatenated upon each other. The first one is a classification layer. It first identifies the kind of noise in the layer, then before it passes it to a regression layer, so that now shift the error from from the noisy to the noiseless. So depending on what you want to use. So if you think classification might not work because the problem is a regression problem, the values are numeric, the values of measurement, or when you measure on a quantum circuit, they are numeric. So classification only might not work. So you have to use a regression model. Purpose, go find it. I know that sounds one enough to quick. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yes, you can do that kind of noise, but it the kind of tax we are using, the kind of tax we are trying to use our quantum error mitigation solve does not relate to, encryption-based problem. So that's why it might not be necessary for us to use those kind of noise. So depending on the kind of noise the crystal fiber is generating, is it just random noise? Is it noise based on, a particular property? You have to first look at the properties of the noise that it is generating before you can determine if this is good for the task. Because we want anybody developing quantum algorithm should be able to translate those noise to noise that happen on real hardware. That is the goal, not just any kind of noise. What kind of noise happens on your, real hardware, like readout noise and all those kind of noise that happen on real hardware. Yes, no, you're asking proper question. I hope that answered that. So find the, features or the properties of the noise generated and look at it. Does this noise translate to something that happens on real hardware? Then you can be able to with this okay, yes, we are looking at creative models. It can be hybrid quantum classical. Yes, that would be very, very interesting too. So, and it can be purely classical. Although the paper used purely classical, but in the challenge, we said we want the model to be better, not just purely classical. So how can you make it better? Are you going to, it use a normal neural network? Are you going to use maybe a transformer model? Are you going to, do an hybrid model or things like that? So we want us to be as creative as possible. Yeah, submission
Right.
for the hackathon. I think you want to answer that?
Yeah. So for the team specifically, because we didn't want to just form teams based on registered participants, because you might form a team and it will be composed of people with different interests. One is interested in NLP, the other is interested in quantum error mitigation. So what we will be doing is after this kickoff that you now know of the problems, it will be reasonable that you indicate interest after the kickoff so that we know all those interested in NLP to actually team them to work together so that we minimize this movement after teaming. So people would want to still move to other teams because they have conflicting interest. But if we have the indicated interest, it will better manage the situation. So that's how teaming is going to be. And we'll be informing you of that throughout the bootcamp. There will be a form sent within the period of the bootcamp so you can indicate which problem track you're interested in. So you can still be talking with fellow members or fellow participants to actually understand what they are also interested in. And yeah.
Is there any other question related to the challenge?
And I think there's a question of the submission. So the submission is equally within the 4-week hacking period. After this kickoff, there's going to be a QoL session, which is going to take 5 days. And then after that, the hacking period will start. And within the hacking period, there are plans to actually have in hacking period workshops and seminars. And then after that, you would still be submitting within the 4-week period. So it's within the 4-week period. And all of those details are shared in the onboarding document, which has been shared already via email and on the Discord announcements channel. So if you are not yet on Discord, please do. And we'll be sending the Discord link again so you can get onto the server and keep an eye on the announcements, Hack the Horizon channel for all of those key updates. And for this document, Akora has hosted it on their platform in a more presentable way. And they're represented here by Jens, who is the co-founder. He will be having a session shortly, and he will be sharing details on how to actually see all of those tracks on their platform and all of that. So all of that information is hosted and it will be shared shortly. Right, and he's just shared the link in the chat box, so you could just click on the link, and it will take you to um, that particular platform where we have all the hosted challenges. Thank you, Jens. I applied as a mentor. Can I still compete as a participant? Is that not conflicting? Because as a mentor, you would have, okay, so if you are assigned to a team, do you mean can you participate within the same team? If so, I think it's natural that you would still, as a mentor, you want to have some tweaks for your team, which is acceptable. I think the overall arcing aim is to have solutions and as well to mentor some of these students who are still coming up. Some students are entirely new, and that's why the Q-World onboarding session is very important. So even as you are assisting to come up with a valid solution, please be aware that one other duty is to nurture some of these students who are new to the field to actually understand what is happening and the meaning of all of that you're doing. So yes, solutions are needed. You can contribute, but as well be mindful of the those coming up. And Temi has shared the link to the Discord channel. You are encouraged to go on there and keep an eye on the announcements. Hack the Horizon channel. Awesome. Okay, I think we can move to the next session. And the next session was scheduled to be the NLP problem, the challenge track session, but we've had difficulty in bringing the speaker on board because of some issues, personal issues he's facing. And for that reason, there will be a recorded session, detailed recorded session on this particular data set. With notwithstanding, you can still find the detailed description of the problem, the data sets that you should be using, and the particular metric you should be optimizing over. So there is a classical implementation of what we are looking at. There is a data set, a problem set, and then there is a classical implementation to serve as a baseline. And all of that is hosted on Akora. Now, the speaker will be having a recorded session, which is going to be shared with you so you can know about this problem. And then as well, there's a dedicated Discord channel where you can post your questions after watching the video. So that will be done as well so you can know more about this particular NLP problem. It would be nice if there's a leaderboard so I can know how I should keep tweaking. Right. That is true. And I think Temi and Jens, there's going to be a leaderboard which is going to be made public at certain points in time. It's not going to be public throughout the hacking period. It's going to be made public at certain points. So you know where you stand. It shouldn't be that you're glued to the hacking board after tweaking just two things. Keep working and at vantage point in time, the leaderboard will be made public. So we can even have within the, let's say, first week, second week, third week, on weekends, we could have that leaderboard viewing session. But it's not going to be for all the times. It's going to be at specific times, which you will be notified on. All right. It would be nice if there's a lead. Okay. Yeah. And Jens will be talking more on these when he comes up. But let me just give a quick overview of the NLP problem. So it's again natural language processing, and it's over three languages: English, French, and Chi. Chi is the Ghanaian language. And what we seek to do here is, let me just look here. Probably the NLP guys would know of this already. And again, all of this information is on Akora, and he would be talking more on that. So you will be coming up with a better version of okay, okay. I don't know who is talking, but please mute yourself. Okay. So for those of you who know the BLEU score in NLP, that's what you're going to be optimizing over. And it's better I just leave it here so I don't confuse you. The recorded session of the provider of the data set would be provided to give you better insights into this particular problem. So I'll just leave it there. But the problem description, the data set, the Google Colab implementation will be provided. In fact, they are hosted on Akora now. And yeah. So, Jens, I think this will be a good time for you to come on board for your session. Gonna mute and go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Tadana. All right, let me see and guide you through. So first of all, yes, welcome everyone. Exciting to have, and by now 57 people here and even more signed up for the event. Just a few words about myself. So I'm Yannis, the co-founder and CEO of Akora. You find me in Berlin, Germany here right now, but Akora is a French, actual Parisian company. I was putting it in the chat before. The idea of Akora is actually coming from in-person hackathons. We've made a transition to now have virtual hackathons and competitions like the Hack the Horizon that we can support. So it's basically a Kaggle for quantum, as I saw the Kaggle before, and I will show you soon. We are transitioning further to be something like a GitHub, or more specific, Hugging Face for quantum computing soon, meaning it should be the platform where you can at the moment access use cases and provide your submissions, and in the future, and also share data sets nowadays for your research. And in the future, then actually before end of year, should be able to also host algorithms and consume algorithms that have been hosted in a plug and play manner. That is the general words about Akora. Now let me just quickly share the screen so I can walk you through how you would work with it during the event. So you can see my screen, right? Can someone confirm this? Is my screen shared? Yes.
Shared and loading on my end.
Yeah, there should be, you should be able to see the Akora. Oh, there's no yes. Some have yes, some have no. Yeah. Yes, we can. Okay, so this is us, Akora.io. This is the first website you would see. There is this small button, go to platform. Actually, you will first see all these competitions. So this is really a library that has been growing over time, which should look in a way similar to Kaggle with all these different competitions. Feel free to check them out. As the leaderboard was mentioned before, you see there's these kind of leaderboards for the different competitions, and there's also this global leaderboard. But actually, the most interesting tag for you will be the events tab, where the first event will now be the Hack the Horizon. And actually, we will also invite all of you, so you will receive an email to have a direct link here and be able to sign up. You will be able to join the event then, and let me just sign in with my account, because then I would have all the access already. There is, I'll go here. You see there's the 3 use cases. So you can scroll this one left to right with the ones Temi was just providing and Atadana was just talking about. And I think we will talk about the open innovation track. There's the information of the event here that was also shared with you before. There's also the agenda here and also discussion tab. I know we have the Discord. Maybe for some you will find this one to work better for you? I don't know, open question.
Jens,
But
I'm sorry,
basically,
just a quick chip in. Could you indicate in the chat box if you can see Jens' screen
Can't see it too.
quickly?
So I'm not sure if I'm the only one.
Someone is saying
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay,
I
we should
can't.
everybody.
Some can, some can't. Okay. I mean, I can try to share again.
Okay.
Okay. I think the majority actually can.
Yeah,
There's a few.
Okay.
Not sure. So Mo and Francis and Meaty seem not to be able to. I'm not sure if I can change anything on my side though.
Okay.
Is it potentially?
Some can,
Yeah.
some can.
I think it's recorded anyways, right? So let me continue, and
right,
then I think
right.
the recording should also include this. So as I was saying, please join the event on the platform. You will receive also the email, and then you can choose which tracks you want to contribute to. You can click on them, and then have a similar overview here once again. You can join the individual tracks. We actually, so after this one, this might be the most interesting. We actually have a way to support the team matching. I mean, it might be done also through the Discord, but you can say, I'm looking for teammates. You can say what you bring and what you're looking for. And then, let me see, quantum knowledge. I'm looking for more quantum knowledge. Well, usually you don't want to have just one kind of knowledge. This is my time zone, so I can mark myself as available here. And now anyone else would actually have the opportunity to reach out to me and send me an email on which I can follow up, so we can create a team. And later you see I'm part of a few teams. I can choose to make my submission as this team. Yeah, and even as a team, you see you can mark yourself as available. You will, I mean, there's this leaderboard which will propagate. You will have access to the submission here. The submission tab is basically where you make your submission, obviously. And maybe last but not least, again, also here is a discussion tab. But I'm aware you have the Discord for this. Yeah, this is basically the very quick walkthrough. Again, you want to go to Arcora.io/events. Here is the Hack the Horizon, or you directly go to Arcora.io events Hack the Horizon 2025. And from here, you can navigate to the individual use cases, read up on more of the instructions, and make your submissions in the submission tab and find your team members through the team settings tab. Yeah, that said, I mean, you can explore more in the top navigation. And happy to take questions. There's a question, was the finance track cancelled? This, I think, is not exactly for me, this question. No? Tadana, maybe for you.
Yes. So it's not cancelled, but we're having difficulty bringing that speaker on board today as well. So there will be a recorded session, most probably, to take you through this particular challenge and to coordinate via the Discord channel as well. So when you have any challenges after watching the video, you can they will be addressed over there. It's interesting to have indicated interest on the finance challenge. That is inspiring. Usually, the challenges or the tracks that are looked at are health, agriculture, and you could say pharmacy, drug discovery, all of those. But yeah, it's good to have interest in the finance track, and we can't wait to see the solutions that are going to come up from there. All right, so now is the time to ask your questions on anything you have on Alcora or on Alcora, how to use the platform, something you're not clear of. So you are made, you are briefed. So do you all know how you're going to get onto Akura, how you're going to get onto Akura? Are you just going to sign up or what are you going to do? Are you clear on that? If you're clear, let's see a thumbs up that yes, I understood how I'm going to get on board and into Akura. Someone is talking.
Yeah, as I was saying, there will also be an email. I'm also around in the Discord, so feel free to tag me there. It's Yanis and I think some numbers that I didn't choose myself. Or you can tag Edge to be in the discussions on Akora.
Right then, right then. So the next session that we're going to look at is the open innovation track. But before then, Farai, are you ready to come in now? Please unmute and go on with your submission. Thank you very much, Jens, for that session. And again, he will be available to address your concerns on the platform usage. Okay. So we will move ahead until Farai is ready to come in. Right. So the next one is about the open innovation track. So what does this mean? Again, this information is hosted on the Accra platform, but just to go over it, a brief overview. You can read more on it on Accra. So this is to provide degree of freedom to all of you who don't want to be confined into 3 tracks. So if any of the tracks that have been proposed don't exactly match your interest, but the problems are a lot. We couldn't have captured all of them. So if these don't exactly match your interest, you're encouraged to come up with your own problem and then come up with a solution to it. And that is what the open track looks at. Identify a problem and come up with a quantum solution to it. It could be health, it could be agriculture, it could be optimization, it could be whatever problem that you want to solve. But of course, there has to be quantum in it in order for it to be applicable in this context. Yeah. So you can go ahead and read more about it. The evaluation metrics, the timelines, and all of that. Because at a point, there's going to be now you would submit the proposed problems and solutions that you're looking at, so that the eligible ones will be moving ahead. But for the tracks that we have, we're going to be looking at all of the proposed solutions. But for the open track, submitted solutions would have to be reviewed mid of the hacking period, and then the eligible ones move ahead. So you take a good look at the posted problem description, the challenge track description on Akura, and then you can revert to Discord for
Hello?
questions if you have
Hello?
any. All right.
No. Okay, no problem. I'm leaving now.
Someone is unmuted. Please, you're making a call. You might want to mute yourself. I think there is a question in the what time did the meeting begin? It said 16 GMT. Seems I missed a lot of info. Yeah, it's 16 GMT, and that was 49 minutes ago. So yeah, awesome to see that you're ready for us. But the good thing is, Agnes Mendela, the session is being recorded. So the link will be shared, and you can find all the information. And again, if you have questions after watching that, you can revert to Discord and you will be attended to. Over to you, Farai. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hope you can hear me. I'm joining this from a mobile, so I hope everything works out. All right, confirm that I'm coming through and I am live. Okay.
Yes, you're live. We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to our partners. Some are here, some are not. We have made it possible for us to prepare for this hackathon. Thank you to the team at AQC that has worked very hard to make this happen. And thank you to the most important people of all, who are the hackers, the participants, all of you who signed up and are joining us to build and be with us on this journey. Really important journey for the community in Africa. The first time that we have gathered people from across the continent to work together to organize an event, which is this one. The first time that we have reached out broadly to make sure that we reach every corner of Africa. We tried our best. We worked with amazing PR partners to trickle this down, and we're still having signups coming. Thank you so much for responding to this call. It's really super important. The enthusiasm that you bring, the excitement that you bring, your ideas, your expertise, your vision for the technology, for capacity building, for solutions, for finding solutions for the most important problems in your communities and in our broader community across Africa is really important. Also, thank you to those who joined us from the diaspora and from across the world who responded to this call and are coming on to work with us. This is a very important moment for us to diffuse knowledge, to collaborate within Africa as well as across the oceans with our friends and with our diaspora. So it's really a very exciting moment for us. It's been long in the process in terms of organizing and making sure that we get to a day like this. And a lot has happened. A lot of people have to come on board. A lot of volunteer work. It has taken a lot of volunteer work, a lot of volunteer hours to be able to get here. So thank you so much and welcome. We are super excited to see what you're going to build, to see the kind of relationships you're going to build, to see the network that you're going to build for yourself and expand on from where you're coming from. We hope this becomes a moment that gets you to be part of the Africa Quantum Consortium and Africa Quantum community as well, and that you never leave, and we keep on building together. After building here, we want the best ideas to surface, and we want to support those ideas to become tangible solutions for the important problems that our continent faces at this time. Go all out, be as creative as you can be. There are many ways to think about hacking or to think about finding solutions, using all these technological tools that are being made available to you. Quantum is one of them, a key one that we're going to be watching, that we want to learn how to use it and optimize for its deployment within the context of Africa. But it is not the only piece of technology. We are more solutions oriented. So we want to see if there are any small gains that we can make from thinking in a quantum way. So quantum inspired solutions are welcome. Think about blockchain, think about IoT, think about edge computing, think about cloud, think about mobile, think about banking, finance, logistics, think about agriculture, think about anything. So whatever you bring to the table, bring all of it. Don't hesitate. Bring that. That is why you are here. It is because of your unique perspective. It is because of your unique background. It is because of those questions that you are asking. They may be simple. Some of them you may feel like they are silly, they are foolish, they are not for this platform. But please, you remember when you were signing up, we had a code of conduct that we are going to respect each other. We're going to be a professional place of collaboration, and every idea is welcome. We want each and every one of you to be able to express. We want each and every one of you to be able to work well together and to have no restraint, to be able to express themselves fully so that we can gain from your ideas, from your perspectives, from your background, from your questions, and some of the ways that you think things can be done better. So go all out. Go all out. Share your ideas, share your thoughts, be as creative. If you're choosing a track that's already been defined, fine. If you're thinking that there's something that is missing that you want to see in terms of hacking and building solutions using quantum and other ideas from your area of expertise, bring that on. You will notice that we have continued calling on people to still sign up, that we are going to onboard over the week, in order to just give that moment to say, we want true representation of the continent. We want everybody on board. We want to see our women and girls coming in. We want them supported and encouraged to participate. We want to see people from corners of Africa that we may not have seen before. We want them in. We want to speak your language, because we've got members who speak Arabic, members who speak French, members who know Portuguese, who know Spanish, members who know Swahili, members who know Twi and other African languages. So they are here. You speak your language, you find somebody who can understand it. And it's our moment to begin to collaborate and remove this language barrier that stops the continent of Africa from collaborating, from working together, from building solutions together, and from trading, from exchanging value and things like that. So we want this to be that moment. So help us do that. We don't have all the ideas on how that should be done effectively, but that's our desire. And the best that we can ever do is to bias towards action, start with what we know and where we are and what we have. This is why we are bringing you the hackathon. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're bringing you a perfect program, but it is the best that we can do so far with what we know and the time that we had. And we need your support to make it super successful, to make it impactful, to make it the strong foundation of building what becomes standard in terms of collaboration and in building solutions and solving problems relevant for Africa in collaboration with the world, with all our partners. You can see that they come from across the world, and we are also going to meet attendees who are coming from other parts of the world. So let's respect them. Let's allow them to hack with us. Let's learn from them. They have unique perspectives they are bringing that are super important in the scheme of things of solving problems in Africa. Our motto is we forge local strength within Africa, but the impact that we want to create is global. And we want that to be a foundation for global collaboration and to be more of a yardstick, a benchmark for global collaboration. So that's our idea. Welcome on board. I'm super excited to have you. Thank you so much for your support. We look forward to supporting you with all the resources and the skills that you need. Tomorrow we'll start our boot camps with QWorld, the best partners we can ever wish for. We're going to give you education to just teach you about the foundations of quantum. Some of you may already have a foundation already. So we also have a track which is for advanced, at an advanced level, which is focused on quantum machine learning, so that you have all the tools you need, you have got all the knowledge you need, you have got all the starting, you have that strong starting position on how to think about the problems ahead of you, and some of the ideas that you are bringing on board. You know how to flesh them out, you know how to shape them, and to create a tangible output. The outputs that come out of here, we are going to showcase them at the International Day of Quantum Closing Ceremony in Ghana. We have got plans on getting people to travel. If our partners step up, we're working with some partners who are can-do partners who want to make that happen. We want to recognize achievements from women and girls so that we promote, their entry into the field. We already know, all of us, that there is, a little representation of women and girls in tech, in engineering, in STEM. It is obvious, it is a given, but there's no way that a continent like ours can succeed without tapping into the capabilities of each and everyone who is part of our community. So that is our idea, and that's what we want to see. We want to support to make sure that it happens. You also see us taking the outputs from this hackathon into the venture studio framework, where we can fund some of these ideas. We can introduce the hackers to mentors who are in the startup environment, who are in the fundraising environment, and business leaders as well, to help flesh these ideas into a structure that can lead into an organization, a startup, a company, and create value that way going down the line. So these are some of the quick highlights of what the idea is with this hackathon, and what we're looking forward to do with the outputs. And we're going to have this going, on every year, and we want it to be better and bigger. And thank you. You'll always be remembered in history as the people who stepped up at the right time when the moment was, calling for it. And we are super proud to have this community and to see you stepping up and building for Africa, with Africa, and being partners for this effort in Africa. Thank you so much to Temi and Adadana. We have been working relentlessly on this, including the ideation and all the pain it has taken to flesh out the details on board our partners and make sure that we have got this event at a point where it is today. With that, let's hack on. Looking forward to you hacking the horizon and seeing what's beyond. And I'm waiting to see the best results surfacing and us proving that we for sure have a stake in quantum, and our contributions are going to help shape how quantum evolves in the years to come and what it becomes. And it's my hope that we are going to get the first use case, even a step change, even a step gain, coming out of the continent of Africa, or at least led by people from the continent, in collaboration, of course, with the global ecosystem and our partners. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best with this event today, as well as with the bootcamp that starts tomorrow. And if you have any questions, I think you have been directed to the platforms where all this, they will be available, mentors will be available, and you will be able to get responses and feedback timely. We are going to base everything else we do on the time zone in Africa, GMT. So our apologies if we are not going to be available another time, because most of our mentors are based in Africa and they are on that time zone. It is predominantly an African hackathon based on GMT time, and that's mainly what we're going to revolve around. With that, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for stepping up to do the very important work for our community, for our ecosystem, and for the world. Thank you. Back to you, Adadana.
Right. Thank you very much for that message, Farai. And he is the founder of the AQC. Thank you very much for that message and for contextualizing this particular challenge. We believe that you are now ready for what's coming up, and you have the scope of the reaching effects of this particular challenge. And so the challenge is started, it's kicked off, and we will continue over the next at least 1 month. And we hope to see really, really good solutions at the end. And as well, continue with all of those viable solutions. Thank you very much, Farai. All right, and if you have any questions, please use the chat box to send them over while we are still in this meeting. If you don't want to go over to Discord, you should do that over here. We want to minimize using your mics to talk. It might get really disorganized, so please use the chat box to do that. Very well. So just wait for some time to, while those questions keep coming, what are the next steps for us now in summary? Correct. So the next steps is that tomorrow the QWorld session is going to be kicked off, and I believe you have been emailed already with some of those details. It was supposed to start this today, but we felt there's going to be an overload of activities. You have a kickoff, you have a QWorld session. So we decided to move the QWorld session by a day further. So you will be starting that tomorrow. And if I remember correctly, it's 1 p.m. GMT. The details should be clearer. There is a Discord channel on the AQC server where there's that schedule over the 5-day period, the detailed schedule with the Zoom links over there and the times as well. So for the first 4 days, it's going to be 2 hours each day, and for the last day, it's going to be 3 hours. All of those details are posted on the schedule channel of the AQC Discord server. So again, if you're not there yet, please head on there because all of the details are there. So that's the next step. Go over the boot camp. While you're going over the boot camp, you will have a form to indicate your interest, which track you are interested in. And over that time, you might have discussed with some of the participants to equally learn about their interest. And after indicating your interest, teams will be formed and you will be informed on that. And after that, you go onto the Akora platform to actually form your teams based on the team members that you will be assigned. And then after that, the kickoff, not the kickoff, the hacking period begins over 4 week period. And then after that, there's going to be evaluations and announcements as well, announcements of the winners. So basically, that is it. No hacking yet now. Just stay put. You'll be starting the QL sessions tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT. Yep, more questions? All right. Is GB in the meeting, please? If you are, please indicate by unmuting and just saying hello.
I think he left. I can't find him anymore.
All right. Right, and yeah, that is also good to note. There is a server for that particular Q Bronze Bootcamp, and in touch with the organizers, we were advised to equally have this session on the AQC server, since some of those participating on the Q Bronze are not exactly participating in the challenge. So there is a Q Bronze session, that is true, and but it's not a uniform session. There are other members from um, other places. But then after that particular session, the AQC version will still keep moving on. And so we were advised in touch with the organizers to have this session as well on the AQC server. And the mentors are as well, the Q World mentors as well are on the AQC server. So they will be attending to you if you post any concerns over there. But yeah, thank you very much for that addition, Marina. Right, more questions, more questions. All right then. Temi, then I believe this is a good time to bring the kickoff to a close. Please, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. So more recorded videos of the other challenges will be shared with us so that we can go through them. But I believe going through the bootcamp first is very important because after then for those that are new to the field, we gain more, knowledge in how to go about solving the challenges. So as we wrap up, I just want to leave us with a clear sense of what lies ahead. So over the next days, you are not just participating in an hackathon. You are stepping into, a working environment that looks a lot like real research and real engineering. So you face uncertainties, you try something that doesn't work at first, you have to rethink ideas, you restructure your approach, you will learn a new tool that you've never used before. And that's exactly the point. That's what we're driving. We want everyone in Africa to be able to, grow in this field as far as you're interested. So we don't need everyone to come up with all the answers. You should start with what you understand, build something from there. If something is unfamiliar or maybe you have a limitation, that's a very good entry point. Use the channels, ask questions, talk to mentors, collaborate with other participants, and let yourself just, explore without pressure to get everything right in the first attempt. So even though it's a competition, but don't look at it as a competition. Look at it as a learning, program where you want to learn as much as possible. So what matters in this hackathon is not about who finishes with a perfect solution. So what matters more is, the quality of thinking, the curiosity you bring, the clarity with which, you explain your decision, the willingness to push beyond what you already know. Those are even very good skill that make people stand out in the quantum world, the AI world, and in the deep tech work in general, not just your perfection or the technology you are using, but your discipline, curiosity. So aside from the prizes for the hackathon, there will be prizes for those people that you could tell your story online. So we have prizes for people that would go online, tell your story about your journey all through the hackathon. And that is one I'm personally want to be in charge of. So I want to see people's story. Go online, talk about it. Okay, day one, I tried this, it didn't work out. Then I tried this again. I spoke with my team. My mentor was able to do this. We want to hear your story online. We want people to know that, yes, you are in a learning phase. And at the end of the day, you are coming out better and more qualified to go into this field. So share your story online. Tag African Quantum Consortium online, and there will be prizes like every week, weekly prizes for people that are able to share their stories online about the hackathon and what you've been doing so far. So that will keep you on track. That will cheer you up that, yes, a lot of people are watching. We are clapping for you. We are supporting you all along the journey. So we, the organizers, we are here all through the journey. You have mentors, you have resources, you have a community that actually want you to succeed and make use of every resources we have. So as we begin, we need you to approach the challenge like a researcher, observe, test, adjust, move forward, and genuinely look forward to the ideas, the perspective your teammates are bringing, the unexpected solution, the friendship that comes with it, the learning phase that comes with it. And we are so excited for you to join the kickoff and to, go through the boot camp, start the hackathon, and I'm very excited to see where it will take you. So we would like everyone, if you can follow us on LinkedIn, so that when you are posting, we can, comment on it, repost your post, tag you, and, just cheer you up all through the journey. So Atadana, can you help me post that in the chat, the link to her LinkedIn post page, or maybe the Instagram. And also we want to be taking a group pictures right now. So if you can put on your camera, that would be very, very nice, such that we'll take a group picture and talk about what we've done today. So group picture, please. Say cheese. Atadana, can you help me take the picture? I'm not sure. I'm not seeing.
All right, on it.
Yes.
Let me do this. So a minute, please. I would count down when we are ready. So okay, so I'm taking this in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Right, done.
Thank you all for joining. We will see you on the Discord channels. There are channels to support, you, where you can ask questions, where you can, talk about each of the challenges. So go on the Discord, post your question all through the journey. We would always be there to, answer your questions. Yeah, and don't forget there are prizes for telling us about your journey online. We want to hear about your journey. Create maybe a page online, a blog, write about it, post it on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, everywhere, and let us cheer you up.
Right. The links
Yeah.
to the AQC socials are being shared. You can just follow them on whatever platform that suits you. There's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's X, there's YouTube as well. So whichever one that you are active on, you can just stay in touch.
Yeah. Thank you, Zaha. Thank you, Marina. Yeah.
Right then. Thank you to Jens for making time to have this session. Thank you to Mark Jack, our very able friend in the
Yeah.
diaspora, who
And
has been doing
Yara is
tremendous
also
work.
beginning. So
Yes, and Yara Fernandez. If you have not
Yara.
read the white paper yet, please do. Mark had um, a lot of direction on that paper, which is really informational. So
Yes.
please do, if you have not yet laid your hands on it.
Thank you to Akora. I remembered when we started the planning, they were always on our neck, making sure that, oh, can we have a meeting? Can we talk about this? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for doing this with us.
You're welcome. No, we're very much looking forward to it. I think there's amazing challenges and also great to get this African-wide competition going. I think it's very important.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think I did mention something. There would be a prize for women-led team, such that maybe a woman or is the leader of the team. There's like a special prize for that. So yeah.
I'm not sure they've heard that so much.
Oh,
There
we
should
need
have
to
been a
post
lot
it
more
everywhere.
reaction. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we need to post it everywhere because we need more. Oh, Marina, you want to say something?
No, it was accidentally. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
And thank you to Omar and Emmanuel for sharing those
Oh, Omar.
links. Yes, I forgot the Facebook. Thank you, Omar. And Omar is one of the core team members doing tremendous work in the background. Thank you
Yes.
very much. And Emmanuel is part of the Innovate Lab Fellowship, which is about ending this week. Yeah, so shout out to Emmanuel, who is doing tremendous work for the AQC as well. I believe you would have a story to tell after the fellowship. So looking forward to that as well. Okay, let the fun begin.
Yeah.
Let it begin. All right, then. So we can continue with the conversation on Discord. Again, the mentors or the problem, the challenge track mentors will be available to answer your questions, and as well the Q World mentors will be available. Now is the period for the bootcamp, so you might be more in touch with the Q World mentors, but you can use the general section as channel for any other question as well. So we will be taking the conversation over there. for now. And again, keep an eye on the announcement channel because key updates will be posted over there. And with that said, the kickoff meeting is concluded. We will be staying behind just for some delayed questions that might be coming in. But until then, you can just go off and follow the conversation on Discord. Thank you very much for joining. I'm looking forward to exciting times ahead.
Samuel had a question in the chat.
Okay, yeah, so that is why there is the boot camp. And also our goal is that everyone can help each other in your team. So you might not be bringing the technical aspects to your team. You might be bringing, the skill as being someone who is very resourceful, and you're bringing that to the team, helping them to, do more research, bringing more resources. And so you can apply whatever skill you have to your team to help. And along the way, you are learning a lot. So it doesn't matter if you're new, just find a way to apply the skill you have to your team.
Right, and just to add to that, we don't actually want to put a knowledge gap on the solution. So as far as you can go, just bring up the valid solution that is available. It shouldn't be that, okay, I'm new, so I'm doing the least possible way that I'm contributing the least possible way. No, there is no cap on how advanced you could go. Go as advanced as you can. And in that doing, you're even pushing other members who have just joined because they thought it was just any challenge. In doing that, you're pushing the knowledge barrier and to influence learning. So yeah, go as far as you can. There's no cap on that.